when you start to make these changes, so there's different types of changes. So some things are things that we can just accomplish, and then some things are more behavioral. So has to do with me changing a behavior, and those are always a little bit harder, right? Accomplishment type goals, I can go and say, I did it, it's done. I went and done something I was supposed to do. And then behavioral is something I have to actually get in a behavior and create a habit and create change. And so these are always harder because I've got to actually allow my mind and my brain to make new connections and to start removing things that kept me in certain patterns and bring new patterns in and make new changes until it becomes now a new cycle and pattern in my life. So when you start going through that, there are several steps to that. So I'm gonna make me a little staircase here, see what I can do. So when we start off, and hopefully you can see all this here, we start off with fear. So when first we say we want to make some changes, new year, I'm going to make this change. I got to eat right. I'm going to exercise consistently. I got this bad habit I want to change. I got to cut down on sugar. I got to do this and that. We say all of that, and the first thing comes is fear. Are you going to really do that? Those thoughts are in there. Yeah, right. You do. You say this every year. Look at you. You're not going to do it. Fear comes in, right? And you really don't believe yourself. Think about that. You don't believe yourself, if you're honest. While you're saying it, you don't believe it. So we have to start there. We got to get past fear. So then we start trying to push past fear. Then we start dealing with shock. Because you say, I'm really going further with this. I remember when I tried to make a health change and I started to cut all processed foods and processed sugar out. And I told you that story, and I was in the bed shaking. It was a serious situation. I was going through withdrawals with regard to this. But you go into shock when you realize you're taking that step and you're really pressing past the fear. So when you press past fear, don't think it's going to just jump to courage. No. When you go through fear, you're going to start feeling some shock, right? So, but when you get past that, you start moving to feelings of this is actually possible. So when you get past the shock and you stay consistent, now you start feeling, you know what, this is possible. I could do this, right? So this is something that you want to be able to move for, right? Then from possible, we start going to believe. Now I actually believe, because I've been seeing, I said I was going to work out 3 times a week. I've never done that in my life, but I did it in week 1. I did it in week 2. I did it in week 3. Hey, a whole month has went by. I'm starting to believe. It's past possible. I believe I can do it. And now from that, you start to see a confidence that begins to be created. And so now I begin to develop a confidence. And when you start to get confident, you know, now you're starting to get to another level where now I'm confident. I'm starting to feel that, you know, this is something that I can really do. I'm walking with a little pep in my step. I not only believe, I'm confident, and I'm starting to, you know, really see what's possible here. And now we start moving to consistency. So once we have got some confidence, we start to move into consistency. And consistency now is where habit begins to be formed. And now we're getting to that highest level of lifestyle. And now I'm starting to anchor this behavior, but it was a journey to get there. And so this is just one way of looking at it, but I want you to understand, when you make this plan and you think about a new year and in a new you, you have to take the time. You have to put the work in. Anything that is of quality, it takes work. We know that about even precious stones and diamonds. It takes pressure. It takes work. It takes energy. Doesn't mean it has to be hard, but it does take work. So when you make these goals, be aware of this process. And if you're aware of this staircase, you can walk that staircase knowing that in the end, you'll end up with a lifestyle change that truly allows you to arrive at a new you. Thank you for watching You Are a CEO on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel to receive notifications, and for complete episodes, download our You Are a CEO app.